Warning, if you might be offended by foul language or off-color jokes, now is the time to kindly fuck off.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Londoner Calling Soccer Pubcast. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Barry Tate. Barry, how we doing?
Not taking any shit.
There it is, not taking any shit. Today's episode, we got a fun one for you. Barry and I are going to chat some Premier League, the weekend that was, a full swing, some table positions, some point deductions for Everton. We then have a lovely guest, Cheryl Moon, will come on. She's a Newcastle supporter. She actually went to the Fan Fest in Nashville this past weekend that the NBC put on. She'll talk about that, her experience, her love of the club. And then we get into a little bit of talk about Champions League that happened recently. We'll get into some stories, and we'll end with Wanker of the Week.
And they're going to find out how tough I am.
And they will. They will find out how tough Barry is. So stay tuned. Barry, how we doing?
I'm not taking any shit this week.
Yeah?
No
shit.
No.
I didn't know you were meant to take any shit.
I'm taking no prisoners, so just
taking no prisoners. Just a point off of Sheffield. That's all he's taking this week is a point off of Sheffield. Anyways, actually, I do want to start on a positive note. I'm going to be very kind to you. I want to go back to last Thursday.
That was a positive note. We got a point off Sheffield.
Yeah, no, big mighty Sheffield. I want to be nicer. I want to talk about how you got 3 points off Man United last Thursday. Do you want to start talking about that?
No, not really. It was easy.
It was easy.
It was easy.
Easy. Yeah, no, just 2 goals in the 90 plus 10
Actually,
and 11.
that's the most latest goal.
I was about to say, those are like the latest 2 goals ever, Mr. Easy. Do you want to talk about how that was for you, like as a fan?
It's easy. We got Cole Palmer. Hat-trick. Easy.
All right, I'm giving
I don't have to talk about it.
I'm giving you a platform to brag. I'm giving you everything you want right now.
We don't need to brag. Do you know how many times we beat them wankers over the years?
Yeah.
We don't need to brag.
It is.
You might when you beat them because, oh, fuck me, it's the first time in 10 years. We're used to it.
Literally beat them earlier this season.
We're used to it. That's what I'm
literally
saying,
beat them this season. No, it's just not true, is it?
Yeah.
All right, well, I tried to be, for the record, I tried to be nice. I gave him a platform to talk about one of Chelsea's bigger wins this year.
We don't need your help. We don't need a platform. We're Chelsea.
You're right. You need points.
That's all we need.
You need points. All right, so let's move on. Speaking of points, we'll get into the weekend that was. At the top, things shuffled around a little bit. I know I talk about Arsenal or whatever, but Man City started by keeping the pressure on, beating Palace 4-2, a team that used to give them problems, seemed to be no issues there. Arsenal then kept the pressure going on Liverpool by beating Brighton away 3-0. I thought that was a very professional performance by us.
Brighton's the young kid up front, Ferguson, is it? Ferguson?
He was injured, yes.
He is injured,
He's injured, yeah. He's not been playing that much this season.
He hasn't.
Been dealing with injury. But again, he's a top talent. Yeah. Top talent. Irish fans should be very excited, in my opinion. But Arsenal kept the pressure there. And then Liverpool had to play Man United on Sunday. Man United fresh off that devastating loss to Chelsea. Again, I'm really giving you a chance here to just batter in Man United, but you're not taking it. You're being mature. I respect it.
We don't need to. We're so used to it, honestly.
I love it.
It's actually gotten boring beating them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, all right. You took 3 points from them and 2 points off of Burnley and Sheffield. So what can I say?
3 points, 1 point. We don't even count points anymore.
Well, I can tell by your table position that you don't. So... So, anyways,
I'm giving you some material here.
Yeah,
no, you're grabbing it.
We got some good stick on it. You're putting the ball in the tee. I'm swinging.
I'm feeding you for a reason.
I like it.
Okay. So I've got 3 assists already this morning.
If you know me, you know I love Eric Ten Hag. I'm done nothing but praise him pretty much every episode, right? Love what he did this weekend. 2-2 draw against Liverpool. Liverpool have had 87 shots against Man United in 3 meetings this year. They failed to win any of them. They lost in the cup, they drew in the league, and then they drew in the league again, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's not Liverpool, it's not Man United winning or drawing, it's Liverpool fucking up.
It's Liverpool fucking up.
And then they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I think any Liverpool fan will tell you that they should have beat Man United, not only in this game, but you could even argue all the games.
Liverpool fan, they should have beaten everybody.
Yeah, they should have. I know, right?
I don't even listen to them anymore.
There's very few games that I've seen Liverpool get completely dominated in this year, so I know their fans are going to say that a lot, but I do truly believe that they should have beat Man United in all of these games, to be honest with you. I think they're the better team. I think they're the better side. They have better form. They have better finishers. Man United have something against Liverpool, and Old Trafford is an absolute nightmare to play at no matter what. So I do have to give credit to them.
Man U do seem to step up in that.
They do step up.
Derby game,
well, I think it's their biggest game of the year. It's their biggest rival, I think, is Liverpool, not Man City.
Exactly. I think so. Over the years,
I think that's the history because of Man City not... And this is not a shot at Man City. We know you've won all these titles in a row, and you're great as it is. Before 2010, how great were Man City? Right? Like, when did they really start becoming this, right?
I think Man United is the bigger game for the fans.
Agreed.
If they're going to be honest.
Liverpool is, yeah, I agree. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Luton doing it again late. They might be the most exciting team in the Premier League, arguably. They've scored more than Man United in the Premier League, actually, fun fact. And they did it again, coming back from against Bournemouth for a last-minute winner, Carlton Morris. Now we got to look at the relegation picture. The reason I brought them up. I know you're running around, and trust me, I get it. Let's talk about the relegation picture because we had some news come in. I texted you yesterday about it. Everton docked another 2 points.
I'm so pissed off about that.
Why? Because they play Chelsea next?
Yes, and that's what happened.
I knew it.
That's what happened.
Look at that.
Last time they got docked 10 points and they got given some back. They play Chelsea the next game.
Yep.
They get docked 2, they play Chelsea. And for fuck's sake.
I know, right? They're trying to set you up.
They could have docked 2 points in a week's time. Did it matter now?
It was supposed to be done actually at the 31st, like a week ago.
Do it 5 minutes before the season ends. Who gives a fuck? It's Everton.
Yeah, so that's a brutal one for Chelsea this coming Monday, I believe. Y'all play on Monday night. The one-off game is Chelsea versus Everton. I believe it's at Everton, too.
No, it's at Stamford Bridge.
That's good for you. Because do your homework. Honestly. Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Instead of going down and Addison, watching Arsenal and knocking them back and having a headache the next day.
Yeah,
do your
my
homework.
Bad. Well, sorry for buying drinks at your bar. Yeah. I didn't know you complained about that. That's crazy. Anyways,
you weren't made for the nightlife, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely not. No, I'm a homebody. But
has your mum noticed since you've been coming on this podcast or been doing the podcast with us, your language has got a lot worse?
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't commented on it, but
I think she should because she didn't bring you up that way.
Charlotte,
I've never met your mum, but
Charlotte actually said something about how I sound more like you now. I started taking your slang.
Oh no, you're just trying to get an English accent so you can get women. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
In fact, you can start how now Brown. It don't matter.
Yeah. Well, we'll circle back to that later in the episode when we have our Newcastle fan come on. But I do want to talk about a couple more games here. Speaking of Newcastle, they beat Fulham 1-0. That race. So right now, as it stands, there's the top 3 that we know are away from everybody. 4th, you have Tottenham with 60. Aston Villa in 5th with 60 points. Man United with 49. West Ham 48, Newcastle 47, Chelsea 44. Chelsea have played the least amount of games of anyone there, so you do have a chance to catch up.
We do, but we've had Burnley, we've had Sheffield, which, to be honest with you, when they're still fighting to stay in, which they seem to be like they are, it's not an easy game. If they were already down, maybe, but mathematically,
they're still not done yet.
So no, we're getting the again. We've got Everton. We've had the 3 teams that are right near the bottom.
I know, right? It's like, they should be good games, but now,
if we'd have got them in December, different story.
I was gonna say, at this point of the season, is it not almost harder to face a relegation team than a team that is say in 11th or 12th?
It is, and that's why the MLS will never be a fucking league as long as I live until they start doing
relegation
promotion and relegation. Oh yeah,
yeah, I agree.
It means nothing.
I'm gonna table that because I really want to get into that, but I want to save that for next week's Open. Honestly,
I might be dead next week. I'm 60 odd years of age. You can't save anything for next week with me.
You don't look a day over 40, Barry.
Feel that heart.
Yeah?
It's getting slower and slower.
I think you can make it next week. If Chelsea don't absolutely kill you this weekend.
It's getting slower and slower.
Yeah, yeah.
Mind you, it picks up when I see a pair of tits, so I'm not worried about it.
All right, there it is. He's so back. He was never gone. He's dangerously back. All right, guys. So looking at that, though, who do you feel comes in those places? Do you think Chelsea have any chance of sneaking into Europe? At 44 right now? Yeah. You still do?
Yeah, you still have to, don't you? I mean, again, it's like them teams fighting at the bottom. I just want Chelsea to seem like they're fighting a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I read that they were all asking the manager to put in the Brazilian, forgot his name now.
What Brazilian?
Silva.
Thiago Silva. He scored for y'all against Sheffield.
I know he did, but the team themselves said they want him back in there, and they need some.
They need a
I know
senior.
he might have slowed up a little bit. Yes, he did score, but you need his knowledge and his helping out.
The thing that I love about Thiago Silva and his gameplay is he doesn't cover men, he covers space, and he's so intelligent when he does
Chelsea brought on, forget his name, he's the tallest player there, I knew Badashel, whatever his name is.
Badiashile, yeah.
Why don't they get a play like fucking Man United did a few seasons ago, Fred? It's as easy as fuck to say that name. Fred. I can say Fred.
Oh, you don't like him because
he's a I don't fucking know.
Yeah, then you got Chuck Umeka, you've got Mudryk, you've got some names. You've got some names in
in future, if I own Chelsea, I wouldn't buy a player. I didn't have to, fucking his last name only had 4 letters.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, John Smith.
Pele.
That works. Yeah. That works. That's an easy one. Saka.
No, we'd have taken him.
Yeah.
We'd take Saka. I like Saka.
You're not touching Saka, yeah.
What was he talking about?
Huh?
What was I saying? I've lost
You're talking about Chelsea and players, and you want to see a little more fight from them. A little more fight.
Yeah, I mean, they brought on the tallest player. They brought him on as substitute.
Yeah.
9'6".
Didn't clear shit.
He didn't jump up and head it and try and clear it. That ball was bouncing around on head. McBurney your bum, his name is, by the way. But no. And it's bounced around and all that. That should have got cleared by somebody, and someone should have thrown himself at it. Their head, their foot, their bollocks. I don't care.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They let it bounce around.
Yeah.
So they deserve what they got.
Spurs won this weekend again, 3-1 against Nottingham Forest. I know that our fans would be quick to let me know if I didn't bring that up, as they'd think we're a little too harsh on Tottenham. Spurs now into 4th place. They do still have a ridiculously tough
For the
run
time
against.
being.
They have Newcastle.
When you say Spurs are in 4th place, always end
for the time being,
please.
They do have to play Newcastle. They then have to play us, Arsenal. They have to play Liverpool. They have to play Man City. That's 4 of their remaining 7. All right?
They'll be lucky if they don't finish in 6th.
So it's a tough run. Now, Aston Villa, they still have to play us this weekend. So they start by going to the Emirates.
Not if they keep playing like they're playing. They're messing up. They've had the opportunity.
I told you, end of the season, Unai Emery.
Don't
it crumbles.
point your fucking finger at me.
I
Put
do.
your hands in your pocket.
I will.
I'll bite the fucker off you.
That's
point at me
weird,
again.
isn't it? But no, let's be real. I said that Unai Emery typically crumbles under this pressure, and it looks like he is again at the moment.
See, no. They're going to finish above Tottenham.
We'll see. I think that's one of the more interesting races this year, is that battle for 4th.
Anyway,
it might not even matter, because if Arsenal and Man City...
We spent enough time on Tottenham.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. We will have a Tottenham
Have you
guest
ever
on
been in
next
a
week.
titty bar and you stood too close to the stage and you got a nipple in the eye?
Can't say I have, Barry.
I'm telling you, but you know when them fuckers aren't real, it's like someone poking their fucking finger in your eye when they're not. Fucking hurts, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Talking about that, you know, when I'm behind the bar, I've reached the age now where I think I've become a wise old, I hate the word old man, a wise old man, because I get 20-year-olds in the bar. And a week or so ago, there's these 3 blokes sitting at the bar, and this bird walked in, and she was showing them off. I mean, she had a nice set on, and she's walking in, and all kind of looked at her, and one of them says, God, I'd marry her tomorrow. I said, you'd marry her tomorrow? He said, yeah. I said, what about yeah, I'd marry her. I said, let me tell you one thing. Before you marry a girl with big boobies, you have to check out the belly button.
How do you mean?
If she's got an outie belly button, you don't marry her.
Why not?
In 40 years' time, it's going to look like she's got 3 fucking nipples. Okay? That's a wise old man talking there.
That is a wise old man.
Okay.
We're going to end the first part of our episode with that wise old man quote. You don't let her have an outie belly button, because when she's older, it'll look like she has 3 nipples.
If she's got big boobies.
If she's got big boobies. Barry, thank you for loving. I love the end of that segment there.
My son gets all this for free.
For free.
He hasn't made a mistake in his life because of his dad.
Now you're giving the gift to the world, so
Let him have it.
everyone's grateful. We have a great interview coming up with Cheryl Moon, a Newcastle fan. Make sure you stick around for that, guys. We'll be right back with that interview. Hello and welcome back to the interview part of our episode. Today we are joined with Cheryl Moon, Newcastle fan. Cheryl, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's get into it.
Hang on, I'm here.
Well, we know you're here.
You didn't normally introduce me. You didn't say fuck all.
Barry, we know you're here.
But you didn't. You said me and my co-host Barry. Fuck all.
That was
I'll go home.
We start with that.
I'll go home.
We record the interview first.
Oh, okay.
We just talked about this actually. Remember,
Yeah, we did.
right before this. Yeah, no, you were there. Anyways, Cheryl, in case you didn't know, we're also joined by our lovely co-host over here, Barry Tate.
Yes, he's
absolute,
right here.
Oh my goodness, absolute gem of a human being right there, my sunshine, if you will. Barry, let's start. What? Cheryl's not even here. Barry, how are you doing today?
We got a guest. Be polite.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And I told you, as it's a female guest, I'm not going to swear in front of her.
Really?
I don't believe it.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if you can make it through the
I never
interview.
used to swear in front of women. I never did until
We'll
I came
see.
over here and
I
I got
heard
in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
And the waitresses and the bartender females. Oh my lord! Oh, there we go.
Yeah?
They started it.
I
You
can't.
swore in front of me before.
I was about to say, you swore
Yeah, because
right.
when you scored against Chelsea, Newcastle against Chelsea, of course I have.
Anyways, let's go back into our actual interview instead of talking about swearing so much, because I'm sure we'll do plenty of that. Cheryl, how did you become a Newcastle fan?
Well, somehow here in the States, I don't even remember how, I saw highlights of Alan Shearer score his hat trick on his debut for Southampton. And I'm not going to lie, didn't hurt he was a cute kid. But I kind of, I was impressed, for one thing, for what he did. And I just kind of followed him as much as I could back then, because it was very difficult back then. As much as I could. And then once he signed for Newcastle, I just fell in love with the whole thing. The fans, the passion. Of course, it was the entertainers era, so the passion on the field and everything else. But I actually, the year before he signed, I was watching a little bit because I was really really liked Rob Lee, and I just met him, so I'm all giddy about that. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Well, you say you just met him. Do you want to talk a little about that? For those who don't know, the Premier League does Fan Fest across America throughout the year. They'll do typically 1 to 3, I would say, per season. They've been to Orlando. Most recently, they were in Nashville this past weekend, and you were in Nashville to meet Rob and everything. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that was like?
Yes, I went to the Fan Fest, and we actually coordinated our Toon Army America meetup at the same time. So we had a bunch of Newcastle fans there, and this was the first time ever that the club actually came over and did something for us. And we had a fan forum where they listened to all of our ideas.
Newcastle had a thing for you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Darren Eels came.
Former Atlanta United owner,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
him. He did really well in the MLS and then got the move to the promotion, new job, whatever you want to call it, to Newcastle after all the success.
Yes, and we
him
love
and
him.
Miguel Almiron both coming over from Atlanta to y'all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he been playing lately, Amaru, whatever his
He
name
has
is?
been.
Yeah.
He has been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. He was there a minute.
Yeah, he needs Grealish to insult him again to really kickstart his career. Because
Exactly.
do you remember that?
What?
So when Man City won the Premier League title, I believe 2 years ago, in the celebrations, Jack Grealish was understandably plastered, just
Yes.
absolutely hammered.
He was blottoed.
And they were talking about the last game where they had to come from behind to beat Aston Villa, and Mahrez was on the pitch, and he said, "Get Mahrez off the pitch. He's playing like Almiron."
Oh.
And after that happened, Almiron went on the greatest run of form he's ever been on in
Yes,
his career.
he did.
So now when he's struggling, everyone's like, someone get Jack Grealish a beer and a mic, have him insult him again, let's get this train going.
It might work.
It
You
might.
never know.
It might. But anyways, continue with your story of Nashville, sorry.
Yeah, so Darren Eels was there, and we love him. And they did a fan forum, so we all told him our ideas and everything, and they took everything on board, which is so unlike the previous
Sure.
regime. And so they're the ones that actually brought Rob Lee over as kind of an ambassador for the club. And he did a Q&A, and we all got to meet him and take pictures with him and everything. And it was amazing.
And the Fan Fest itself, what was that like? Like the crowd, the excitement?
It was good. I think I've been to Philadelphia and I've been to Orlando, so this was my third. I think this was probably the least attended, just by what I saw. It was a very small venue as well compared to Orlando. Orlando was huge because it was
massive.
because it was at
Universal.
Universal.
Yeah, it was a cross promo.
Yeah. Philadelphia was kind of small too because it was a city hall. So
Sorry, we don't like Philadelphia here in Dallas that much. You can say whatever you want bad about them.
No,
I think what they
that's where my whole family's from. So
Oh, well, sorry. As long as they're not
I
Eagles
think why
fans.
they probably not why they picked Nashville. Why they picked a small venue in Nashville because they had the Arsenal were playing everywhere. Who's going to go and watch fucking Arsenal? So we don't really need
Well,
like
you can
we don't need a
Go
Orlando.
take a peek at your own bar in Addison and tell me who goes to watch Arsenal,
We were
buddy.
giving them cheap beer. We had to bribe them.
Yeah, oh, for sure. You have to bribe someone to watch Chelsea for 90 minutes these days, all right?
I've had enough of this shit.
Oh,
It's
God.
coming on.
It's what?
It's coming on.
You would wear that.
I'm wearing that. You've insulted Chelsea enough on this programme that my son bought me a shirt for my birthday 2 years ago.
I do like that shirt. I think it's very clean without the sponsors. I do
at that.
like it. It's bold. I respect you wearing it. I do
that
respect
gold.
you wearing it.
Gold.
Yeah, gold.
Gold.
Did they give those gold to 9th place now?
Guess what? Tacky actually, but it's gold. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, please. So, let's get back into Newcastle right now with the new regime. You talked about Darren Eels. What has that been like as a fan seeing this new regime come in? And obviously the Saudi money, is there any fear of financial fair play? We looked and saw Everton docked again this weekend. Well, Man City have 117 charges and nothing. Chelsea are weaseling their way with contracts and stuff.
Are they going after Newcastle or not yet?
There's rumors that Newcastle basically have to sell this summer. Like they have to, and even their owner said every player has a price. So how you as a fan navigate that and deal with that after all these changes?
Well, I think it's bullshit for one thing, but
There's a curse word for you. First one that it wasn't us there. It wasn't us who cursed first, all right?
It's embarrassing.
I know. We are so mature over here. Cheryl coming in. My mother watches this, Cheryl, so you know. All right.
well, it is. But I'm hoping that we don't have to sell, like a Bruno or an Isak or something like that.
I'm hoping you sell these.
But it's it's so frustrating because we have all this money and we're not allowed to spend it. And, you know, you've got Me and You who has in debt by hundreds of millions of pounds and they're allowed to spend. And it's, I don't understand. I don't understand how that can work. So it's hard because I think we can sell, I mean, I'm thinking we're probably going to sell like Almiron.
I think so too.
You know,
City can buy him and get rid of Grealish.
there you go.
Amazing. What a turn of events that would be, right? Could you imagine if Jack lost his job of all people to Miguel
If I was
Almiron?
a Saudi and owned Man City, I'd do it just for the fun
banter.
of it.
Just for the
fun
banter.
of it.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
But yeah, so you're hoping basically just to keep your main core. Do you not feel that you would need to sell? Like, I know Bruno's getting interest from Spain. I know Isak's been linked with Arsenal amongst other clubs in the
I
Premier
think
League.
all that's coming from the media, though. I don't think that's coming from anywhere else. And I mean, we've got the Adidas contract coming in, which is 40 million, I think.
Nice. And they make great kits.
Yes,
You'll enjoy that as
and to
Adidas
come back
sponsor.
to Adidas for Newcastle
They make
is
really
like,
good kits, yeah.
Well, and I mean
So
that's
you've got
us.
40 million coming from Adidas?
Yeah.
Well, that'll buy you a shit left back, won't it?
Well, you know, you never know.
You never know. 40
You can get
million.
Ben, you can get Ben White.
Some clubs actually spend wisely, Barry, and use their money not on like 100 million
We don't
pounds.
we don't call it money. We call it confetti.
Yeah, do you? Yeah, you don't get much of that. Not many celebrations going on that ground.
No, no.
Quick turnaround there.
But we think we could. I mean, if we ever get rid of Dan Ashworth, you know, and get money for him, that will help us as well. And we've got more sponsorships coming in and that kind of thing. So the hope is that we'll have enough money coming in that we'll only have to sell our basically fringe players that are sellable and not any big
Core players. You
Right.
don't want to be a stepping stone club.
Right.
No, you want
exactly.
to
We don't want to be a selling club at all.
Yeah.
How does that work with the financial fair play stuff? So you get sponsors coming in. Does that money that doesn't get counted, or what? Or is that just counted as profit? I mean, because you can get a Moody. You just form another company, especially in Saudis. Hey, we're sponsoring for this company. The company probably doesn't even exist.
They can't do that anymore, though, because they put all those new rules in. Since we've come in, they put new rules into financial fair play. So we can't have too many Saudi-based companies, you know, coming in. We can't.
There was even a vote over January about letting Newcastle loan players from the Saudi league
Right.
because they had special connections with them.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
Neves, if you remember from Wolves, now plays on Neymar's team. I'm going to butcher their name, so I'm not going to try it. Very good Premier League midfielder, went for the money, and they were looking to loan him
Because they're
in
all going
January.
to try and find loophole. Chelsea found a loophole.
Chelsea with
They'll
the
give them
8-year
25
years.
Yeah.
You signed
Yeah.
Mudryk for the rest of his
And
life, right?
So
And now they stopped that as well.
Because you
They'll-
can't do that where it's like, oh, we're only paying this much because it's an 8-year deal. It's like, okay, buddy, like you got us at first, but we got to now rule that out. So Chelsea, credit them, found a loophole that's now being cut off. And Newcastle looks like they're trying to cut off any loopholes for them to basically have a special access to Saudi league players and companies and things like that.
Which I honestly don't think we would have done anyway, to be perfectly honest. I think that was all media spin, you know, and not really what the club wants to do.
What about
because
when
the club is trying really hard to stay within the rules because we already know there's going to be so much scrutiny because of our owners.
It is. Same with Man City. They get the same treatment as well with
Exactly.
the Saudi billionaires, and they obviously have 117
Right.
reaches. That's a different story.
Right.
So let's go back to Newcastle, the club, though. Obviously, last year was immense success getting into the Champions League. You drew the group of death with Dortmund, AC Milan, and PSG. I think there is no shame in finishing fourth in that group at all. That was one of the toughest Champions League groups I've ever seen. As a fan, how did that feel to last year make it back in the Champions League and then be on those day you beat PSG, right? Like I know the
Yes.
group didn't go the way, but you had some results along the way. As a fan, to see your club competing at that top level again, how does that feel amongst the Giants?
It was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing because I was a fan for the old when it was we were in the Champions League before. So this was just
so you've been Champions League to Championship back to Champions League, right?
Championship twice.
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
But a
wasn't-
Newcastle fan, you must have thought your dad had gone to heaven because they had years of absolute shit.
Yes.
No,
And
I
then to get
remember.
the Champions League, and I mean, was it his first or his second season?
Second.
Is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so no, I mean, I know, as you said, I know you came fourth, but to get in there in the first
Hey,
place,
we were only a dodgy penalty decision away from
Yeah, the PSG
the
penalty.
handball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that, that was
I mean,
a tough call.
really,
So that's
I think-
that's your excuse for not winning the Champions League.
No, I'm not saying winning champions.
Okay, I'm
getting
just
through.
saying.
Getting through
Dodgy
to the
dodgy
last
penalty.
16.
Yeah, getting through. So it's yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Barry's laughing. Their team can't even get in Europe right now, and you're making fun of someone who did.
Have I got 2 stars in it? Did they put 2 stars in there? Because we won it twice. They didn't?
No, they didn't.
Because we don't show off.
Yeah, clearly. I watched you play Sheffield, buddy. You don't show off at all.
Hasn't got 2 stars?
No.
Do you know how much this fucking shirt costs? I haven't got 2 stars on it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Rip
Maybe
off.
they're just being humble.
Rip off.
Maybe they're just being humble.
Yeah.
So right now, obviously not the season from last year. You're not out of Europe completely
Correct.
right now. Like, you're still in and around, and this weekend's game against Spurs obviously is huge. Do you see yourself getting into Europe, sneaking in there?
Of course, it depends on the coefficient of the English clubs
Yeah,
and
you
how
need
far it goes
Arsenal and Man City to
down.
win
Yeah,
would be a huge benefit to everyone
exactly.
else in the Premier League for Europe.
Exactly.
Why?
I know.
Now
right?
you've given her hope when there isn't any.
No, it's fun. It's so funny 'cause I have a Spurs friend who's like, yeah, like if Arsenal lose, great, Harry Kane wins. If Arsenal win, that 5th place spot is Champions League that helps Spurs. And I was like, oh man, it's April and you're already doing this thing. Like
Yeah.
that's tough. That's tough for you, bro. That's real tough. That's your season right now, and it's April like 10th. That's your season. It's cute. But
Newcastle, one of them said there's certain teams I absolutely fucking hate.
I don't like
No,
Newcastle.
I don't. I've never minded Newcastle. I don't know why. Maybe because they've never been a threat over the last God knows how many years, and then that's what it is. Your
Right.
Liverpool's, Man U I hate because they obviously were a top team, but I'm loving where they. In fact, as I said, they should be lower, and they're going to be. You're going to get above Man United.
We're hoping. We're
No,
hoping this will
you'll
be the
finish
first
above
season
them.
ever
If
that
you
we
don't-
finish above them.
If you
That's
don't,
what
then
we're
I'll be
hoping.
disgusted with you.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, the way that Man United are conceding shots right now, I think they conceded 25 to Liverpool over the weekend again.
And
It's-
if
We
Man
still
U,
have to play them too. We have
Exactly.
to have that review.
You have
scheduled.
Spurs and Man United, so you have 2 teams in front of you. I know Spurs are probably out of reach at this point. They're like 14 points clear of y'all with 7 games to go. It's not undoable, but that Man United, there's that. Obviously, the top 3 is the top 3. There's Villa, there's Spurs, that both on 60. Spurs have a game less played. But then you get into that like Man United, West Ham,
They're
Newcastle,
like 2 points ahead of us.
and everyone's right there,
Yeah.
and Chelsea are right there too.
so
to be fair,
well, no, we're going to be up there. I'm worried about
yeah,
Chelsea.
of course, yeah, why not?
She's Newcastle. We're talking about Newcastle.
Yeah.
So if Newcastle finish below Man United, are you going to throw out it was a dodgy penalty?
No.
Okay, because that seemed to be your
No.
get out of jail free card with Newcastle. It was a dodgy penalty.
It was a dodgy penalty.
We need to make a t-shirt. It was a dodgy penalty. I
I'll
can
just-
blame that for
I'll
my
just-
marriage.
I haven't brought
I'll
up the
blame that
goal.
for my
I haven't brought
marriage.
up the goal Newcastle beat Arsenal on this season once. If you want to talk about something dodgy, I haven't brought that up. I'm being very kind to not bring that. I think you even know that was some sketchy stuff right there, and the ball was out of play type thing.
I know Alan Shearer is held in
One of the
more
best
than
ever.
high esteem,
One of the best
godlike.
ever. Yeah.
he probably deserved it. Not by how he, also how he was as a player and how he played. You talk about elbows, arms, telling that.
Yeah.
Harry Kane threw he threw an Alan Shearer yesterday. But anyway, we'll
he's
talk
dirty.
about that
Yeah,
later.
he's
He is
dirty.
dirty.
He's
Yeah,
dirty.
man.
Mark Lejeune's leg. My
Harry
gosh.
Kane's a dirty player.
My son's a Newcastle fan.
Really?
Well, he was my son. He's not anymore.
There you go. Fair enough.
He's a Newcastle, but because of Alan Shearer. You said it was because of Alan Shearer.
Shearer.
They should give him shares in the club. I really mean it. The amount of people that went to support Newcastle because of Alan Shearer.
It's crazy because you could say the same with French people and Arsenal because of Wenger or Henry, right? Like you still look at France and Arsenal's one of the biggest clubs in
We're
France
talking about
because of those
Newcastle.
things. I'm
Right, no,
going
you're
off
not.
the,
You
I'm
bring it
going off
every
the
fucking
point.
time you get a chance, you throw Arsenal in.
I'm going off the
Bollocks
point
to
of
Arsenal.
one player.
Cheryl, get up and walk
One player.
out. Teach him a lesson.
One player can cause so many people to go to a fan base and support a team was the point that I was supporting you making, Barry.
She's wasted her time coming here today.
Has she?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think you have. I think we're having a good time. So do you have a prediction on where Newcastle will finish this year?
Before the season, I said I would be happy with 7th and a good cup run. We still had good cup runs, even though we got groups of death. I mean, we got
Yeah, you got screwed on some draws. Some
screwed
really
draws
screwed
on
some
everything.
draws, yeah.
So, but we still had decent cup runs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure if 7th would get us there or not.
7th is going to be, I think it's going to be tough because you're going to have to jump Man United to get there at this point.
Yeah.
So you've got Liverpool, City, Arsenal.
Oh, that wasn't in order.
It's what?
That was out of
Liverpool-
order, but okay. Yeah.
Liverpool,
I like, no, you put us third. Go
Liverpool,
ahead.
City. Okay, I'll do it again just to make you fucking
There
happy.
it
You
is.
got Arsenal.
There it is.
Liverpool, City, Spurs.
Spurs are in
Villa,
fourth
so
currently.
that's what's that?
Yeah.
Five teams.
5, 6,
And I think
Five,
Villa's
isn't
in
it?
3,
So you
5,
got-
yeah. And then you have
So now you got that 6 mark. So it's between Man United,
Man
and
United
for 6 and Chelsea can
and
still
West
do it.
Ham. And West Ham are there
West
too.
Ham, oh fucking get real. It's West Ham. Christ
Okay.
almighty.
Yeah. Chelsea fans
West
saying
Ham's
that.
still in Europe, so
They got Leverkusen. They got Leverkusen. They're out of Europe.
They got Leverkusen
Yeah.
tomorrow, and Jared Bowen's out for them too.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
No disrespect
Yeah.
to West Ham, but if you pulled out, I think Edson Alvarez is out too. Their big Mexican center back.
Talking about that, you've had a lot of injuries. Every team's had injuries.
Yeah.
But your goalkeeper, was it Pope? Is
Pope,
he's been out all
brilliant.
season, has he not? Or is he back?
But then
No,
they brought
he's-
back Dubravka.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
who-
he's conceded so many goals.
No,
It's
it
crazy.
would have been a different with Pope, and I know.
Pope's
It doesn't
top
sound
tier.
like you've got the depth that's required.
I think we did have the depth, but our depth has been injured most
Yeah,
of the
I
season.
agree
And
with
of course,
that.
nobody expected the Tonali ban.
Oh
And
my God, yeah.
He was our star.
You paid
summer
70.
signing.
You paid
mil-
70 million.
53. 53.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was our star summer signing. Scored on his
He's
debut.
good mate with Ivan Toney, you know that.
Scored on his debut, and
I got
then we lost him for the rest of the season. And
Well, let's say why we lost him. Let's go into that. Why'd you lose him? We can't act like that was an injury. He was gambling.
no, I understand that. And
Yeah.
I understand that.
Was he betting on all different games or the
I've
games he
heard
was
that
in?
he was
He was betting on his own games,
I've
but
heard he was
only to
betting
win.
on his.
Oh, because
own games.
he's a smart gambler.
Yeah.
Of course he is. It's not- Barcelona did it for years with the referees, didn't they?
Well, that's different,
It
but yeah,
doesn't
still.
matter.
But,
But I mean, he does have an addiction, and
It's a problem.
you have to. I mean, and look at how many clubs have the betting things
That's
slapped
the
all over
funniest
their
thing too. Is
shirts
like
and everything
is
else.
Ivan Toney after his gambling ban comes out with the Bet365
Exactly.
sponsor on front of his Brentford shirt because that's who
Exactly.
sponsors the team. It's almost just.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. It's just stupid, isn't
Yes,
it? Like it's for
it
lack of a
is.
better word, it's kind of stupid.
It is.
Most addictions harm you. No,
Yes.
nearly all of them harm you.
Yeah.
Every addiction you got, you can actually get help.
Right.
I mean,
Which he is doing now.
he's going to stand up. My name is Ben. I'm an Arsenal fan. There's help out there, mate.
Yeah, is there?
There's help. There's help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
You have to stand up. Just do it.
It's true.
I'm an Arsenal fan, loud and proud right now, brother.
we
Life
go.
is
Oh,
good
there
right
we
now.
go.
Yeah, there's our Larry Grazer's
There
in.
you
He's an
go.
Arsenal fan too. I think it's braver to put on a Chelsea jersey right now than say you're an Arsenal
Especially one
fan.
that's too big for me. Look at that.
Yeah, no, you're too fit, Barry. You're too fit.
I think my son, he didn't pay attention. He just went in. I want a Chelsea shirt. What size of he?
They couldn't
He's my
believe that
dad, so
someone
they gave him
requested
one
that.
for a dad body.
Yeah.
I don't have a dad body.
They didn't know that you were rolling in looking like David Hasselhoff. No, come on now. It's too loose. Doesn't fit your figure, you know.
I'll
Doesn't
come
show
in
off
with the
muscles.
fucking swimming trunk next week.
Oh,
Speedos.
wow.
You-
All right. Anyways, I'm
Blue-
busy next week.
Blue Speedos.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly
Yeah.
fine to not do.
That's all right.
Don't go to Addison.
So she said, "Don't bring that shit over here." She said, "Don't bring that near me."
You're talking your way into me wearing a thong, the pair of you. Telling you.
Wow, we should wrap this up soon. So is 7 still your prediction? Is that what we settled on?
I think so. I think 6 is a real stretch. If we could go on a real good run, and we do have a decent schedule for the rest
and you
of the
have
season
got
as
to
well.
somewhat control your destiny. Like you said, you get to play Man United, you get to play Tottenham. These are teams in
Yes.
front of you that can really help you climb the table.
And
here.
we've got Sheffield United, we've got Crystal Palace. We've
most
got,
teams-
Oh, no,
you know,
wait. We said that last week. We got
Yeah.
Sheffield United. Oh, no,
Barry
no,
was
no.
on the pod
We beat them
talking.
8-0.
Yeah, we beat them 6-0.
Everybody's-
Barry, how'd you do against them?
Sorry?
We combined to beat Sheffield 14-0. How did Chelsea do?
We got a point. It's a point. A point's a point. It's away from home.
Yeah.
You have to be happy with a point away from home.
Same man who made fun of me
we
for.
beat 'em
Oh,
8-0.
cut that out. That was-
Same
a
man,
shit.
same
Just
man
cut
who
that
gave me
out.
shit when we came in after beating them 6-0, by the way. Same man. So, do you have a prediction for the? I'm gonna ask this too. The champions and the relegation to kind of wrap this interview up. What do you think is gonna happen there? Because it's so tight on both
It's
ends.
so tight.
And then Everton getting deducted too on the other end puts Nottingham Forest and Luton within one win of jumping them
Right.
too. So I feel like the bottom two of Sheffield and Burnley are.
I think they're already gone.
I think it's more or less decided,
Yeah.
unless Burnley
Yeah.
really go crazy.
Right.
I don't think Sheffield will. But again, then it's that Nottingham Forest, it's Everton, and it's Luton.
Luton.
So
yeah.
which one of those three do you see going down?
It's really hard to tell. I have a feeling it still might be Luton. I really want them to stay up.
I really want them to stay
I
up.
really want them to stay up. But I'm not sure they've got enough. Nottingham Forest, has already done it. And
They've got
of
a
course,
squad. They got a
Everton
deep
seem
squad.
to always survive no matter what.
Yeah,
Which,
the Premier League's trying to get them down, though. They're
Yeah.
trying to knock them down, but
You've been to Newcastle, haven't you? You've been
Yes,
over there to watch
several
some games.
times, yes.
Now, be honest, because nobody from Newcastle going to. It's a shithole, isn't it?
Newcastle?
Of course, anywhere up north's a shithole.
No, it is
It's
not.
a shit. I'm telling you, you go up
It
north.
is
I was on
not.
the podcast with a Leeds fan. I said to him, I've never been up north.
Yeah.
And I haven't.
yeah.
It's like going back 100 years. Cobblestones, wooden clogs, all run around going, hey up, hey up. They don't even talk English.
I think Newcastle's a top 3 hardest away
the
ground to play in the
stadium,
league.
Sunderland's right next to Newcastle.
Well, Sunderland is a dump.
Right, exactly. Right, it's right next to Newcastle.
But I've actually walked through Sunderland. It honestly is desolate.
I think they built their new stadium
is.
in 2007. Mm-hmm. They called it the Stadium of Light. Do you know why?
Sunderland.
They've just got electricity in the whole fucking
Stadium
north of England.
We call it Stadium of
Yes,
Shite.
the stadium. They were treating it like Vegas. Oh yeah,
SOS.
electricity.
I think
we'll call it the Stadium of Light.
Gets a different reputation because, and I mean this so seriously, they have a documentary on Netflix, Sunderland Till I Die.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And again, I thought it was brilliant. I really love seeing the behind the scenes and all that stuff. As a nerd, I just love that.
But it was funny.
And I think that it does kind of put them in a light that makes them look a little more glorious than they are, right? It's Netflix, right? They're going to shine the cameras and make everything look pretty. So I think it is.
In all seriousness, is it difficult to understand someone when they speak? And I mean that.
Geordies?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been around so many of them now. It's like because there's so many here. It amazes me how many Geordies end up in Texas.
Yeah.
There's so many of them here, and I've
Next
been
time you go
around
over there, okay, I want you to do me a personal favour so that I can understand them next time they talk.
Okay.
I want you to get a group of them and get them to say, how now, brown cow, until they get it right. Okay, you don't come back to the USA until them fuckers know how now, brown cow.
Why would they ever have to say that?
Just
For Barry. Just for Barry.
What's my fair lady? I've just aged myself there.
Just for Barry. All right, so I do want to talk about one more thing. Is the fan group. You've touched on it, the Toon Army that you're a part of. Can you speak a little bit about what you do, what that group is like, and how it all kind of works?
Well, we got together in 2011, like I said. Basically, it kind of helped that the team was actually here for a summer tour in 2011, and that kind of
Stacks up,
kind of faded over into us.
Parlays into each other.
So, but we actually came into existence when we got our brilliant flag, which we they let us hang at the Londoner, which a big heated Geordie from who was actually living in New York came down. They actually all banded together and bought the flag for us, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
So we kind of sort of born out of New York, and I think New York was the first group, and I think we were the second. So I think we're
the group here in Dallas. Was that with Paul Devine? Did he help start that?
Well, he was one of our originals. Yeah, he when we were at Trinity Hall, he came here.
Okay.
Not the first few times, but he did come here. And he was always at the Londoner Uptown when we were there. We loved that place, by the way. We were sad when that closed. So I was. Yeah, we were. It was great.
But and then you had Paul Devine. We've had a couple. We've got pictures of Paul Devine. He passed away a few years ago. There's Andy, another Geordie that passed away. Well, I mean, when you say young, in their 30s, I mean, it was a tragedy. But we've got their pictures up there and now. I'm not saying we want people every time someone snuff, but they were real big. Even Andy, poor Andy, he just as he passed away, they got your new manager more or less, and they never got this. It's a shame. I mean, I know there's more, but it's a shame.
Yeah,
we could have just seen that, Maybe he's looking up there,
I hate that he missed it. I absolutely.
No, it is. But anyway, he was a big old Geordie fan. He was.
Yeah.
So now, what is the fan group like to bring that back to this?
It's pretty good. We, I mean, like I said, there's so many people that their kids play soccer on Saturday mornings and they have life and all that kind of stuff. So we haven't had as many as we would probably like in the last couple of weeks. But I think when we played Man City last time, we actually had more than they did, which was a good thing because we had that room. That room was
I know y'all share the room over there.
Madison, that room was packed.
Can you imagine sharing the same room, not even the same pub, the same room?
That's real.
Well, but we don't share it though. I mean, we're not in the same. We're not there at the same time. We're not in that room at the same time.
I thought when you played.
No, they were over in the Liverpool room and we were in our room because it was our home game.
That's fair.
So that's what they decided.
I like the way these soccer fans name on my rooms after their club. Yeah, that's the Liverpool room. That's the Arsenal room. That's the Chelsea room.
Mary's like, this is my bar.
That's how I know it.
But that is too fair.
No, we do. We got that one. There's a Liverpool room. That one there's Man City. That one there's Chelsea.
Yep.
That one there is the Arsenal room. It's also the toilets.
Yeah.
So you share that one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's the Arsenal room.
He's been waiting to get another Arsenal jab in this entire episode. It's okay. It's all good.
But Jared, I remember when we beat Tottenham 5-1 when we were already relegated.
What was the score?
5-1.
Yep.
Newcastle 5, Tottenham 1.
And I'm pretty sure,
happen in a
if
week's
I'm not
time.
mistaken, that was when Tottenham finished third in a 2-horse race because you were already relegated,
Yes,
beat
and
them,
you- and
George,
you-
we did
Yes,
we now? I had no idea that's where
because
this
the
ended.
Arsenal fans were hugging us and kissing us and
because
everything that
we got
day.
to celebrate
It
St.
was
Tottenham's Day.
fantastic.
Again, that's what's so good about the Londoner up there and that, and I'm not promoting the pub.
No,
you get the
promote it.
different fan groups, and when something like that happens, I had it when, I think it was Aston Villa were playing, all the other groups were hugging them when they stayed up. The other team in there, and it was actually Arsenal fans, were hugging them and that, they were glad
This
to see
weekend,
it.
I celebrated that Kobe Mino goal like an Arsenal. I felt sick celebrating a Man United goal, but oh my, I was like, yeah. I was texting my Man United friends. I'm like, I always love Ten Hag. I've always rated Ten Hag. He doesn't even need shampoo. Like, I love this
That was a
guy.
goal worth celebrating.
It was a banger. It was a banger. I mean, but for me, just what it meant, right? Even though it ended in a draw, it let us.
Newcastle haven't scored a goal like that since Shearer, maybe. Telling you.
Newcastle scored some
Are
pretty
there
good
tap-ins
goals.
or penalties or there?
Oh my God!
Dubious
I could show you an Isaac video that would make you throw up. All right, his assist against Everton. You know what I'm on about.
Yes.
That alone was beyond spectacular.
Fabian shares rockets that he puts
Oh
in
my
all the
God!
time
Yeah,
from,
the dude
from
shoots it from Narnia.
Yeah.
He shoots from Narnia, man. He shoots from a different area code. They got some goals.
See last week how I wound him up?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them, 1 hit today.
Sorry, he's winding us up. We were right. Anyways, let's wrap this up, Cheryl. I do still need to get those predictions from you. I need a champion, and I need who gets relegated. Give me one team for
Well,
each.
I said I think it will be Luton. Unfortunately, I do think
All
it
right.
might be Luton. And champion. Oh man,
It's so hard to
that
predict,
one's
isn't it?
really hard to.
What, who's going to win the EPL?
Who's going to win the championship?
It's
Not the championship, the Premier League. You know what I mean? Yes.
I
get it right.
really don't want it to happen, but I think it might be Liverpool.
Good
All right.
girl.
Well,
I
Cheryl,
really
great
don't.
having you, Cheryl. Anyways, all right. Yeah,
you
thanks
can
for
come
coming
on
on.
next
Say what I think.
Never come back
Just
again.
say what
I'm
I
kidding.
think.
I'm
And
kidding.
I said I don't think.
No. I do appreciate it, and that's fair. I think Liverpool
Yeah.
are a great team.
One other thing, with people, if they want to get involved with the Newcastle, is obviously your web. How do they get involved?
Oh, yeah,
with
how do
you?
they get in
a
touch
supporters
with you
club
and
and what
your-
have you?
We have a Facebook page on Toon Army Dallas. You have to answer a couple questions just to verify that you are a fan, because we've had some.
Can you give us an example
we've
of
had
some trivia questions that you asked?
We just ask who your favorite player was, and,
Okay,
and
it's like nothing-
when did you start supporting and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So you can fake it.
I didn't know if you had to
but-
actually grill them a little. Like, hey, you
No,
got no little something to get in here.
but we've had some bad eggs come in, so we're trying to
Like Barry.
and then we also have Twitter at Toon Army Dallas. So
Okay, so get involved on Twitter and Facebook.
Yep.
Is there an Instagram page as well, or just those two socials?
we haven't done Instagram at this point. We're probably looking to do that soon.
Okay, sweet. So,
So what I'll do, any new fan that comes up to watch Newcastle in Addison, when they get there, you can buy them a beer and put it on my tab.
Okay.
Okay, and I mean it. Just text me.
Excellent. That's That's
there you
fabulous.
go.
Thank you.
So if you're a
Yeah.
Newcastle fan out there and you're looking to get involved, as someone who recently went to Addison for my first game, like, it's a blast. Do it.
It is.
Go. Have fun. You're surrounded by so many like-minded people, so many people that just the same passion that you have, right? It's a rare commodity to get all those in the same room. And Barry just generously offered to buy you a beer. So make sure
Now,
you get
if you go
involved.
out there and you join a Newcastle Supporters Club, I will buy you a beer.
There you
That's
go.
if you've got no pride and will accept a beer from a Chelsea fan.
There you
If I was
go.
a Newcastle fan, I'd tell them to shove it up my arse. But if you've got no pride, have it.
Jordy will have a free beer anytime.
He almost made the full episode without cursing. He almost made the full interview without cursing till right
I
there.
said shit earlier.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he
What?
did.
Did you say shit earlier?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't hear you say. I didn't hear you curse.
Probably
earlier.
swore a lot. I don't know. I'm doing it.
I barely heard anything this episode. So
You're used to it. Immune.
yeah. So before he starts really stirring up, Cheryl, thank you for being on. Thank you for coming here, sharing your opinions, your stories, everything. Guys, make sure to get involved on Facebook, Toon Army Dallas, and on Twitter, Toon Army Dallas.
And if you want to join the Arsenal, it's called a shit Facebook.
Yep.
They play like shit.
Yep, we do. We're just terrible. That's why we're top of the league. Anyways, Cheryl, thank you again for being here. We really do appreciate it. And guys, until next time, we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
And thank you so much to Cheryl Moon for coming on again and telling her stories about Newcastle, her stories of Fan Fest as a fan. We love that. And make sure you guys get involved with Toon Army Dallas if you are a Newcastle fan. Take Barry up on buying that beer. But Barry, now I want to turn it back to you.
What beer?
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah, he's going to cut that out.
Yeah,
I ain't worried
yeah.
about it. He'll cut it
Yeah,
out.
maybe that gets edited out. We'll see. But Barry, I want to wrap up here. So do you have any good stories for us before we jump into Wanker of the Week?
And we're not going to talk about the Champions League?
Do you want? We can talk about Champions League. Yeah.
I would thought. No, you don't want to, did you? Because you didn't.
Oh
win,
no,
did you?
I'm more than happy to talk about it. Please, let's go for it.
So you got. Well, only just this. I mean, I've got to watch the Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Man City, mind you, that Real Madrid goal. I mean, that was
which one?
unbelievable.
Which
the
one?
third one,
Valverde.
especially.
Yeah.
To keep that down and control it like it did that's a really good goal. But
so mind you guys, we're recording this on Wednesday, so the Barcelona and Atletico versus Dortmund games haven't been played yet. So we've only seen the first two. So go on.
Yeah. So obviously with Bayern Munich, they're going to the Emirates, and they're like 16 points behind Leverkusen in their own division. Mm-hmm. Okay. They're not going to win it. They've won it in the last 10 of the last 11 times. Mm-hmm. And they come to Arsenal, obviously playing like shit, a bad patch. Well, they were. They're not going to win.
They were in bad form.
They're shit form for them, bad. Mm-hmm. So they come to the Emirates, okay?
Yeah.
And all you lot could do was take a point off them.
Well, we didn't.
You've had them at their worst they've ever been in the last 50 years, and you couldn't. You're at the Emirates. You take 1 point. You was lucky to get that.
I wouldn't say
they should have
we
had
were
a penalty.
lucky.
What about this penalty when they took the goal kick and your man picked it up?
I mean, what about the penalty where they fouled Saka?
That wasn't a penalty. He threw his leg out.
You can make that debate.
It is a debate. But no, he did. He moved his leg towards the goalkeeper.
Neuer's leg also stepped out. I think that, and I've talked about this too. Even Harry Kane said, if it was my team, I would have wanted a penalty. I think that whatever way the referee made that decision.
Harry Kane also said, they said to him, I don't know how many goals he scored against Arsenal. You'll know this. How many has he scored against Arsenal?
I don't know the exact number. I know he's the highest goal scorer in North London.
Right, and a majority of them have been penalties.
Yeah.
And they said, you've scored so many goals against Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Harry Kane said, well, they make it easy for me.
Do we?
Of course you do. They keep giving penalties away.
He's made it easier. He's won one game at the Emirates in his career.
How many goals? We're not talking about how many games. That's
we're
a
talking
team.
about making it
That's
easy.
as a team. Him as an individual has scored more goals against your lot than...
Well, look, I will let him have every individual stat if at the end of the day our score was higher than his. He can score 2 goals as long as we score 3.
Anyway,
he's fine with that.
You've got to go to Munich now, and you should have been in front because you're playing a shit team. Mm-hmm. You might be lucky they might turn to shit again.
Maybe. We'll see. I like us. I still like us. I think that in the Arsenal game, I think that we started off as the better team, clearly Saka scoring. I think then our immaturity showed a little bit. And
he'll be lucky to get through his soccer. They just kicked the shit out of him.
It's ridiculous.
No, they do. The referee didn't protect him. I was watching. They didn't protect him as much as they should.
I'm glad that they carded Davies, which now he's suspended for the second leg, which again I think is a big advantage to us. Saka against a backup left back in Guerrero is way less athletic than Davies. But I do agree. I think
you're not gonna beat Munich because they've got that one player that you lot just cannot ever beat. Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer's never won a game at the Emirates in his career.
He's due one, exactly.
Well, it's not. This one isn't at the Emirates, but again, his record
actually,
against...
Tottenham are glad to get rid of him. They said he's so slow.
Yeah, Tottenham, his record against us is actually atrocious if you look it up. And he was doing the mannequin challenge for that first Saka goal. He just froze right there, and Saka said, all right, I'll go around you then. Cheers. I'll say this about the game. I agree. I think we started really strong. I thought we were the better team. I think we showed our immaturity. We got to remember this is our first quarterfinal in the Champions League in 14 years. I think we got overexcited. I think Raya rushing out for that first goal was poor. I think that the second goal we conceded was also poor.
We spending too much time on Arsenal. It feels like we are.
I wasn't going to bring this up. Right? But again, I think that we can do it. I think we can go on the road and do it. This is Mikel's first Champions League campaign as a head coach too. But I like the way. I know what we're capable of. I know how we can set up.
Actually, in all honesty, Arsenal messed up. You gifted them a goal.
We gifted them 2 goals.
The penalty was bad because I don't think he would have gone. I mean, I know he was going through you like butter.
Sane was brilliant. He was brilliant.
There was, I think, who was that? There was Ben White was left to give him a tackle. No, but Ben Knight just
later after. Yeah.
No, when just as they gave that penalty, Ben White was on the geezer. Yeah, it looked like he was about to put in a tackle or block it, and you gave a penalty. So that's where the immaturity and the lack of experience showed, and it did.
I think it did. So, but again, to come out to be down 2-1 against Bayern as a team with that lack of experience, to come back and get that goal to go in level again in Munich.
You're at home.
It doesn't matter.
You're at home. You didn't score that goal. Your fans willed that goal. You won't have that, and you didn't have one German in that. They wouldn't let them in because they knew the German fans were going to outshout the Arsenal fans, so they banned them.
No, they banned them because they broke rules in their previous...
They made an excuse to ban them, but they don't know we can't have this. Arsenal, let's...
I'm still excited. I'm not giving up on us. I think that coming back from fighting down 2-1 against a team with Bayern Munich is very impressive for a side as young as ours.
Actually, both games were really good.
I thought both games were crackingly good.
And I'll give them... I'll give Munich credit as well, because they were actually going forward. They wanted to win it, and so did you lot.
So did we.
And unlike that Man City game where you
I
sat
thought
back and
we
fucking
played-
fell asleep.
It's a different team, yeah.
It doesn't matter, but you actually wanted to win, or it looked like you wanted to win, and so did Bayern Munich. They could have, yourself, when there's two good teams, and I'm about to put you in that category, because
We are
Bayern
there.
Munich, good team. Didn't say great, I said good.
That's good enough for me.
So when they're playing, normally it's like a chess match, and you
Yeah.
have to wait till a goal gets scored before it opens up. But this one was end to end, and so was evidently
with
the Man
City
City, and that's what
Madrid.
that's football.
I thought it
That's
was
what you wanna
brilliant
see.
football yesterday.
Yeah.
I think we're in for 2 more great draws
Yeah.
on Wednesday. I'm really excited.
No, they're going to be. I'm looking forward to both games. It's
Yeah.
going to be good. Whatever.
I still think, again, I agree we were immature at times. This is a young team. This is our first quarterfinal in 14 years. A lot of these kids, think about it. Saka was 7 years old last time Arsenal played in a quarterfinal. So you got to factor that in. I think we'll be okay.
Let's see.
I think we'll be okay. All right, moving on. Let's get into our wanker of the week
Do you
to
think-
wrap this up, unless you have another story for me.
What do you want, wanker of the week or story?
Give me a story. Give me a story.
I'll tell you what. If I was on the door, if I was a doorman in a club,
Yeah.
would you be scared to come in, or if I can't mess with him?
Nah,
You wouldn't.
I would not be scared of
Right,
it.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
All right.
All right. So when I had a wine bar which we turned into a nightclub. I've told a story before. And we had a doorman, Ray Hill. That one that just took out of prison for armed robbery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To get rid of Ray Hill, we had to get people bigger. So we got 3 doormen.
Yeah.
So we had to get you try and tell one of these big
Yeah.
enforcers, actually. That's what he used to do for a living. He was an enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
You tell an enforcer that, I'm sorry, mate, you can't come in here next week. Well, we had to get 3 other people bigger than him to say, no, you're on your way, we got this one.
Yeah.
So we ended up having 3 people on the door, and they all wear the dicky bow tie and the black jackets and that. They're doormen.
Yeah.
And they're all on steroids, and they're all, I'm 150 £150 if I'm lucky when all my clothes on soaking wet. But so I'm there. So anyway, one night we're working. I've got the 3 blokes on the door, and they're all from Romford in east of London, and that's where a lot of they came from a really there was a lot of drugs and that going on there. I
Tough
didn't do it.
area,
I'm not
yeah.
into that shit, but I didn't realise who I'd taken on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, one night I'm behind the bar and they come in. I'm working. Quick, get on the door, and they start taking their dicky bows and their jackets off. And I'm thinking, I said, what's up? Just get on the fucking door. So I go around with the door, and I got there, and there's these 2 blokes laying on the floor outside. They've been knocked out, and there's a police car pulled up. And the police are walking up towards the door, and these 2 blokes are there. So I'm standing there like that with my arms folded, trying to look as tough as I can be.
Of course.
And I'm like that. So he says, policeman says, so, what's been going on here then? I said, well, officer, I think they've been drinking before they came in here. And I said, before they came here. I said, and they kept trying to come in. I couldn't let them in. I said, and I told them 3 times, you can't come in. He said, so you told them 3 times, and then the 4th time, you knocked them spark out.
Yeah.
I said, I had to. I said, I didn't have a choice, officer. Anyway, of course they don't believe me. I'm standing there, these 2 blokes laying there.
Giants, and you're just like, yeah.
So anyway, so
they
they get them awake and that, and they put them in the police car and they drive off.
Yeah.
Well, 3 weeks later, same thing happened. I'm in the club and quick, get on the door, get on the door. So I know the routine now. So I'm on the door. They're
You're
taking
ready,
their
yeah.
jackets and their ties off and mingling, and I'm on the door. And there's only one bloke there. He's laying on the floor, spark out, and these 2 policemen walking up. And before I can even say the word, one of the policemen said to the other policeman, "Oh, Sarge, let me introduce you to Mighty Mouse."
So you're just the most
what can you
badass.
say?
You're the most badass man on the planet, just knocking these giant blokes out left and
I
right.
was honestly, for 5 minutes, I was the top doorman in London, mate.
There you go.
Don't
They're
fuck around
scared.
with
Don't
me.
mess with him. He's got 3 bodies on his resume
I'm gonna
right
get
now.
A shirt, Mighty Mouse.
There you go. I love that. I love
you go.
that. That's a great one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap up with ranker of the week, Barry. Do you have anyone in mind?
I was going to give it to Arsenal for not winning at the Emirates.
Really?
Yeah,
That
but
is-
I won't. I'll be nice to him, okay? And then I was
love
going to give
that.
it. Then I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to Basher Shell.
Daddy Shield, yeah.
9'6", couldn't get his fucking head on the ball.
All right.
He's the tallest on the field.
Mhm. Oh, he is.
He lets
no, he is. He's
McBurney
a
bite
giant.
your bum, score a goal. No,
I'm-
Badishil.
I'm also going to Chelsea. I'm going to give it to Pochettino, not for losing it, but for his comments afterwards about how it takes 3 to 5 years to build a squad. And while I agree with
Hang on
that,
a minute. I've just said to you I was going to give it to Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd be nice,
so you gave it to Chelsea.
and I gave it to Chelsea, my own club.
Yeah.
And then you, instead of when someone's nice to you, like shake
Yeah.
your hand, you shake their hand back. You don't fucking jump on board and go, oh yeah, no, I'm going to give it to Chelsea as well.
Yeah, I'm going to Chelsea as well still.
That's you.
I
wait,
mean,
it's the
yeah.
last time I'm fucking nice to you.
Yeah, well, that was the first time too, so it won't be much different. But I think that it does take time to build a squad. It doesn't take 3 to 5 years to beat Sheffield United. Now does it? I think that was a really poor result.
We won't have to. They'll be in the next division. We're not worried
That's
about
the thing.
them.
Well, I feel like that kind of killed the momentum.
The two teams that worry us most for next season.
Yeah, they're gone.
Going down.
They're done. You're not even worried about it. You're not even worried about it.
Hey, someone said to me, "How comes I always cross my arms?"
Yeah.
Like that.
Why?
And it's not one of them defensive or whatever they call it, whatever. It's because I'm getting old and fat and I'm fucking holding me tits up.
There you go.
That's all it is.
There you go. He's holding his tits up, y'all. You heard it. So anyways, that's good for Wanker of the Week. I think that'll do it for our episode. Thank you again to Cheryl Moon for coming on and talking to us. That was a really fun interview. And make sure to stay tuned for next week. We have a Tottenham fan coming on. He was supposed to come on weeks ago.
I'm looking forward to that one.
He's got some words to say. He's got some words for both of us, apparently. He's got some words.
The Tottenham fan gets up and walks out in the middle of it.
Yeah, we'll find out.
He's sensitive. We know this.
Yeah, they are.
Alec Kettle.
The
sensitive one.
There you go. He'll be our guest next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that, guys. Until next time, peace.